So I've got two major issues with the way you move around the map that I want you to fix. So the first one is you appear to be wrist aiming way too much while with your crosshair placement.
The faster we do this,
So
the faster I get paid.
the way I can tell
My
that you're
bolt's
doing
ready.
this is because your crosshair's doing this. It's doing these jumps, which is very incorrect technique. Very incorrect. When do you use your wrist? The answer is simple. Pretend this is an enemy. This is all arm, all arm, all arm, all arm. I'm getting shot at, arm, wrist. You only use your wrist for like micro adjustment when your crosshair's already close to a real target. You use your arm for big motions while moving around. So here I can tell while you're moving that you're not using your arm. Because if you were, you would not have to do these tiny little shifts. You'd just be able to smoothly track the edge. Come over here, smoothly track. You see how I just did one big swipe over?
Got the spike.
I could smoothly move across and it looks really cool. It's like I know what I'm doing, you know? How come I know what I'm doing? Because I'm moving the way that you're used to seeing professional players move. That's it. If professional players all moved around like this with these tiny like slices while they track the corner like you do, then it would look right. It would look right. The problem is that's not how people move around because it is a bit worse. You want to be smooth, ready at all times. Your wrist has to be neutral at all times, essentially, because these micro adjustments you have to be able to hit with your wrist. And so this is your hand. I'm just going to use a circle and this is your wrist. Let's pretend that to aim, you're moving your wrist all the way to your left. Okay. So like aim over here. So from here to here, you move your wrist all the way to your left. Okay. So that basically moved it like this. Okay. And there's your mouse. Wow. My diagram is terrible. But you get the point. So you aim from here and you use your wrist to adjust your crosshair. So now your wrist is in like this curved position here. Now imagine there's an enemy you didn't expect right there. And they peek you past your crosshair over here. Oh shit. Now you have to aim with like your arm. Your wrist is awkwardly placed and you're gonna miss the shot and you're gonna lose the fight. When an enemy appears on your screen, you always want your wrist to be neutral so you can comfortably adjust to any like direction easily.
Hello gamers, look at your elo, now look at mine, now back to your elo, now back to mine. Sadly, it isn't mine, but if you stop autopiloting outdated strategies and start getting free VOD review coaching, it could look like it's mine. Look down, back up, where are you? You're on bind. With the strats your strats could be like, what's in your hand? Back at me, I have it. It's the Valorant gift card from Wuhujin. For your successful follow-up thought, look again. The gift card is now an ego vandal. Anything is possible when you get your Valorant tips from a talking banana and not TikTok. I'm on a gaming chair.
Better. He's got some tough notes. Better. Whoa! Congratulations, Woodrow, on the purple rank. Woodrow was getting panicked about the fact that he's in high yellow now or some shit. I don't know. But I wanted to see the calm gunfight Giga Chad. And that's it. So that's what I'm going to be looking for.
They're totally pushing, right?
They burned like stage wall as well.
400 credits down the drain.
Yeah. We can even like rehit later if we want to.
I don't want to grab the orb.
First bird Harbor Cascade, Sage Wall on your ass.
Oh, they pushed through right.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
rehit C.
come on,
Let's
buddy.
rehit C.
There's still at least one here.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there might be two. One
Yeah.
was waterfall and one was site. There's-
Okay.
Walk.
I'm sorry.
One's close.
I'll actually once I get to you.
I can't smoke CT from here. Wait.
Placid.
I'm stunning your CT. One water.
Seems clear. Gonna play off this smoke.
We got something to talk about after this round, Woodrow.
All three there. Do you have a heal sage?
I have a flank, I have a flank, I have a flank.
Yeah.
Just live, just live, just live.
In on spike.
100 on
No way,
Gecko,
man.
100 on Omen, 20 on Harbor.
I have a flank, I have a flank. I have
They're
a
all
flank.
1 HP except for Harbor.
Get him off of it.
Smack him, go, go, go.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. Decent round. However, the biggest thing I want to talk about is how come you like aim around like outside of your gunfights, the way you aim and move, you look like a heckin' noob. And that's not good. I want you to look like a immortal, because that's how you get to immortal. Let me just case in point coming up.
One water, one water.
Seems clear.
Spike planted.
The fuck is that? What do you mean? What's that jump? And then let's look over here, for example.
Three hits
Oh my
you,
God.
three hits you.
There's
Your
still-
crosshairs,
there's
like,
still at least one
so
here.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there might be 2.
Jittery
One
while you
on
aim
second.
around. Show you. I'm booting up Valorant. I must demonstrate. I've got 2 videos on the topic of movement in a series called Movement Mastery. Highly recommend. So I've got 2 major issues with the way you move around the map that I want you to fix. So the first one is you appear to be wrist aiming way too much while with your crosshair placement.
The faster we do this,
So-
the faster I get paid.
The way I can tell
My
that you're
bolt's
doing
ready.
this is because your crosshair's doing this. It's doing these jumps, which is very incorrect technique. Very incorrect. When do you use your wrist? The answer is simple. Pretend this is an enemy. This is all arm, all arm, all arm, all arm. I'm getting shot at, arm, wrist. You only use your wrist for like micro adjustment when your crosshair is already close to a real target. You use your arm for big motions while moving around. So here I can tell while you're moving that you're not using your arm. Because if you were, you would not have to do these tiny little shifts. You'd just be able to smoothly track the edge. Come over here, smoothly track. You see how I just did one big swipe over?
Got the spike.
I could smoothly move across. And it looks really cool. It's like I know what I'm doing, you know? How come I know what I'm doing? Because I'm moving the way that you're used to seeing professional players move. That's it. If professional players all moved around like this with these tiny like slices while they track the corner like you do, then it would look right. It would look right. The problem is that's not how people move around, because it is a bit worse. You want to be smooth, ready at all times. Your wrist has to be neutral at all times, essentially, because these micro adjustments you have to be able to hit with your wrist. And so this is your hand. I'm just going to use a circle, and this is your wrist. Let's pretend that to aim, you're moving your wrist all the way to your left. Okay? To like aim over here. So from here to here, you move your wrist all the way to your left. Okay? So that basically moved it like this. Okay? And there's your mouse. Wow, my diagram is terrible. But you get the point. So you aim from here and you use your wrist to adjust your crosshair. So now your wrist is in like this curved position here. Now imagine there's an enemy you didn't expect right there, and they peek you past your crosshair over here. Ah, shit. Now you have to aim with like your arm. Your wrist is awkwardly placed, and you're gonna miss the shot, and you're gonna lose the fight. When an enemy appears on your screen, you always want your wrist to be neutral so you can comfortably adjust to any like direction easily. And that's sort of how we practice our micro adjustments. You always start from neutral. So your arm moves around but keeps your wrist neutral. And so anytime you want to do a micro adjustment at the end of the movement, so here I just moved randomly, I'm going to micro adjust to this junction. That's wrist. Arm, 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 arm. I'm going to micro adjust to this junction. That's wrist. So you're clearly using your wrist for these like crosshair placement motions. Like just
Yeah,
watch.
three hits
Oh my
you.
God.
Do you see that? Just watch how you turn around.
Oh, that pushed through right.
Watch again. Right here.
Three hits you. Three
That's 4 swipes. You're clearly using your wrist.
hits you.
There's still at least 1 here.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there might be 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is
One
reason
side
number
there.
1 why you look like such a big noob. And there was 2 more micro swipes here. You have to cut this shit out. You look like a giga noob
Got
for
the
one.
spike.
It should just be a nice smooth motion over here. And you can pre-aim, come across. And then you see nothing, one smooth motion over here. You can always turn around. Notice how cool I look. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. So you're missing that smoothness. Now next, let me swap to Sage and place that Sage wall. Movement in this game is so important. And the evidence behind that is name me a single hecking Radiant player who doesn't have disgustingly clean movement. You can't. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you want to jump onto this wall, which would just be simple with a nice air strafe. Like I would just air strafe onto this and then bunny hop across. You can just air strafe up. Nice and easy for me. And for you, that's probably like incredibly difficult. So you can make it without getting on the lip. Oh, you can if you crouch midair. If you don't crouch midair, then it's really tight. But here I am making it without the crouch as well. But like, why? Because here's how I'm picturing it. If you jump straight onto the wall and they peek you, then you're moving straight, which is no good. So I actually want to jump sideways onto the wall. So if they're peeking, I'm moving laterally already. Because if this guy is looking at me, they won't just see me coming straight forward. In fact, they won't see me at all because they're going to see me like jump out of their POV and then back across into it.
Seems clear.
Spike planted.
And like, you see how you're like lining it up? Like you've planted the bomb and you're like... The reason why you're lining it up is because you're trying to make this tight jump where you have to like perfectly clear this. But if you just jump at any point, the air strafe will save you. So watch, I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to jump at this bit of the shadow. No problem. I'm going to jump at this bit of the shadow. No problem. I'm going to jump at this bit of the shadow. No problem. With the air strafe, you can adjust your like mid-air trajectory and account for missed timings of your jump. Now I'm going to do the same jumps, but just trying to get over it. So I'm going to jump here. Oh, it doesn't make it. Well, I guess I'll try jumping here. Oh, that doesn't make it. Notice how now you've got to be... Oh, wait, that clips the thing. And now all of a sudden the jump is a difficult timing challenge as opposed to a really simple, just make sure you land on this ledge first. And like, if you have good control of your air strafes, I can land on this ledge all day. You see me? Like, this is not hard. You get the point. You're a heck, your movement's very undesirable. When you're jumping around, you want to be using these air strafes because it looks really cool. And it's also, it gives you better control of your agent. Right now, it's like, I see a desync between what you want to do and what you can do, if that makes sense. When I'm playing Valorant, it's like I'm in the game. It's literally me. I don't even feel the keyboard and mouse. It's more like I do whatever I want to do. It's like a one-to-one connection to the game. I'm actually just playing Valorant. That's what you're missing. Your movement's really bad here. And of course, we have to give you strike one on this guy. Oh, I've got a good analogy. It's like when you're learning any skill and it has multiple steps, and one of the steps requires you to trust like the success of a previous step. This happens a lot in like acrobatics, where you have to like already begin part of like the next movement, assuming that you're going to hit the first movement. And so if you're like validating the success of each movement, you'll like, you won't commit to the next thing and you'll screw it up. It's like you don't expect to succeed at the first step. And so you fail the second step almost. Like when you're raised satcheling, for example, if you are practicing a lot, you'll like, let's say you screw up the first satchel a lot. Then the moment that you get a good one, you weren't expecting it and you don't even throw the second satchel, you know? So instead, you just sort of have to like expect it to be good so that you can already be throwing the second satchel. Yeah, like combo in a fighting game. Exactly. So it's more like I'm not thinking about it because the moment I'm thinking about it, I'm too slow. I guess a good analogy would be, because this is a simpler game, if you've ever played Mario Kart, imagine if you have a beginner friend who doesn't like to drift, okay? And let's assume you know how to drift in Mario Kart. I think I'm setting a low enough bar. Most of you in chat probably drift when you play Mario Kart because that's a pretty simple thing. But I'm sure you can relate to like a super beginner being afraid of it. But you understand as somebody who can drift in Mario Kart, how incredibly freeing it is to know how to do it. It's actually so important. It's like a core mechanic of the game. If you don't know how to drift, it's almost like you're so restricted that you're not even playing the game. And I genuinely feel that air strafing in Valorant is the same, okay? As somebody who is good at both.
She has a whole dog now.
Oh shit, what's that?
Like your movement is locked. Like right here.
Oh shit, what's
Like
that?
what's Woodrow doing? He's just running as he gets tagged. He's just running to the side awkwardly. He's got to jump. and wiggle some airstrafes. That's what a good player is doing. In fact, it's exactly what we see in today's hectic video. 22 minutes of Eggster styling on puny little men. He gets caught by Sky and he's already reverse airstrafing to increase his momentum. He loses 6 HP. It's like an instinctual reaction for him when he sees an enemy that catches him off guard to try and jump out of the way. Because when you're in midair and you get tagged, you don't lose any momentum.
Fast.
Whoa.
Quiet. They're pushing. They're pushing.
Alright, stunning now.
Spike down. Attacker spawn.
Flashing close right. Flashing now.
I probably would have held Aftershock. The odds that they're behind that box and they're buy round are
Wait,
very
we
low.
don't have the bomb.
One top.
Heaven dead. One more heaven.
Heaven's
One more
not
heaven.
there.
One more
Yeah.
heaven.
Last play.
Okay, Woodrow, I need you to stop worrying about everybody else's fucking job, dude. It's not cool. It's not cool. I know we don't have the bomb right now. That's not your problem.
Oh wait, they're not out yet.
It's so
Flank.
uncool. It's like you check the flank when you shouldn't.
No.
You're like worried about the bomb. You can't do everybody's job, dude.
Down. Attacker spawn.
Flashing close right. Flashing now.
Okay? If your Sage doesn't tell anybody to go get the bomb or call you back or whatever, that's fucking fine. Just hit the site without the bomb. It's way more mentally freeing to not worry about everything. It's a team game. You have to learn to let go of some of the concepts of the game. And this is, I struggle with this too, okay, as I'm playing Raze, because I'm used to playing controller. And so I'm very used to controlling the lurk, anchoring sites, countering enemy lurkers. And now I'm just like trusting my teammates to do that. And it gets very frustrating when they don't do it right. But I still leave it up to them. Okay, so it's like,
Wait, we don't have the bomb.
like, why are you making that comm right now? Your teammates are flooding onto site. All you should be thinking about is minimap refrag. How do you even notice that? Your
Heaven
duelists
dead.
are taking space.
One more heaven.
The spike.
Great, you got the bomb, but your whole team died. God, you look like such a noob. How many turns did you just do, bro? You're aiming at body. Hi. No. Come back. This is not good enough. You look like such a noob, dude. So first of all, your crosshair is mopping the floor this whole time. You're doing 7 swipes every time you turn. It's just a recipe for not getting frags. Your crosshair's got to be up here at this height. It has to be. I can like forgive you for body shotting when you're peeking on these vertical challenged angles like here, because this is complicated. It's tough to be on her head here. She could be at different depths. It makes sense. But the moment you're on a flat bomb site with no verticality whatsoever and they're peeking you from here, it's inexcusable, Woodrow. Inexcusable that you're not on their head. There's just no excuse whatsoever to not be aiming for headshots here.
Yeah,
Strike
that's a good
2,
idea.
Woodrow. Strike 2.
I got my own.
You ate a stun.
One enemy.
Like at this point, he could literally be like peeking neon.
There's a con here.
Spike.
Backside.
I'm just gonna ult him. Watch out.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're just gonna ult him? The bro has a sheriff and it's 3v1 and he's stuck on site. I do not agree. This round's over. You've won. This is a 100-0. You do not need ult.
Out, Jet.
Yeah, see, your jet just killed him. Your teammates shouldn't agree. This ult is incredibly heckin' insecure of you, Woodrow.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Zico.
Alright.
You're literally ulting in a 3v1 against the eco round, bro. Against a guy who's stuck on site while you have a flanker that they've got no info on. Can't get any gunfights if you just have your util out.
B. Yeah, just break that wall. Let's split B.
Holy shit, you were accidentally aimed at their head.
I'm gonna smoke top and bottom B. And we can get in.
We got smoked off.
I'm walking in.
Wait, Sage, you have bomb. You have bomb.
Sage B,
Sage,
Sage
you have bomb. I'm holding flank.
One was on A.
I have a bunch of util. They cannot get on the bomb.
I like how your brimstone comes to push out flank, and then instead of joining him or flashing for him or anything, you just keep holding this angle that they can't possibly peek you. I like
One was on
that.
A.
I have a bunch of util.
And then your
cannot
brimstone
get on
gets
the
to take a 50-50. I like that.
One enemy remaining.
Sarcasm. I do not like
80.
that.
Flank.
bomb. I got him.
Oh, and then you tuck
Yeah, the
behind this
sheriff.
box against a sheriff. Bro. Just hold the fucker. from man off angle. This is like 70-30 against a sheriff. Is that not good enough for you? Instead, you're crouched right in the corner of this box where honestly, you might get unlucky. Like the pro might shoot that. Holy swoop. We don't get any
Walk up
fights.
C.
He's probably free.
And our minimap refragging is pretty good.
Hold on, I'm smoking.
Give you that.
Smoke up very low.
Oh, thank God. There it is. There's the strike 3 I was looking for.
Oh, wait.
Here we see somebody who gives 0 fucks about proper technique. That crosshair belongs right there, and you know it. And as you're walking left, you could come over here. You can come this way. Notice how my crosshair moves nice and smooth. You can fight dudes over here. My crosshair is almost never just going to be here. You were looking at your mini map. Well, yeah, that's just dumb. That's just dumb, my dude. Because you should take one glance at that mini map and see that stairs is open. You are not calm. You're not confident. And you're not a Giga Chad. Cleaner, movement, learn to air strafe, crosshair, placement at head height. And your gun is out. Stop using wrist for aiming until you are micro adjusting on enemies. Run it back. Run it back.